The most important thing to do when you're asking parents to move in is to have a plan. Don't wait until they are a mess, a physical mess or a mental mess, and it's an emergency situation. Have a plan. The sooner you talk to them about this when they're actually feeling healthy and in good shape, the easier it will be down the road. We're going to take a chat on how to discuss with a parent, or at least convince them to move into your house. Let's get to today's question. How do I convince my stubborn dad, who's showing signs of decline, to move in with me without making him mad? Hi, I'm Ann. Y'all ready to chat? This is a toughie. This is a real toughie because these are your parents. And don't forget that during all of this. These are your parents. They're not your children. And I think sometimes we forget that. We know what's good for them. So we kind of patronize or dictate, and that's just not going to go over well. So I suggest if you have a parent that's living alone and is in good shape, to talk to them about this while they're in good shape. That way, it's not a last-minute emergency situation. And what I would do is I would say, Mom, Dad, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself? And they might be optimistic and say, oh, I'll be playing golf, I'll be playing tennis. No, realistically, in 10 years, where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself living? And start the conversation. Make it a broad conversation. Don't go in for the kill, but start having a conversation. If you're in a situation where you really want them to move in, the sooner the better, find out what their objection is. I mean, they may be telling you they don't want to be a burden. We've all heard that one. They all say that. I don't want to be a burden to my children. Find out what burden means. Mom, what do you mean by burden? I don't understand what that means. What does burden mean? You might find out it's not being a burden she's afraid of, it's losing her independence she's afraid of. Or that she won't have anything to do if she moves in with you. Once you know the objection, you can overcome the objection and take it away from them, because it's fear. It's a lot of fear when it comes to giving up your own home. I don't care what kind of condition you're in. Everyone wants to stay in their home. And it's very difficult to give that up. Find out that objection and overcome it. That's a sales technique. Here's another sales technique that'll help you, and that's using the assumptive close. The assumptive close in sales is when you just assume they're going to buy from you. You've probably seen it at the car dealer. This car is nice. Do you like it in red or blue? Well, I like it in red. Oh, well, do you want these features or do you want that? Oh, I like those features. See what they're doing? They're assuming you're going to buy from them. You can do that with your parent as well. We did that with my mother-in-law. My brother-in-law went in and he said, gee, Mom, what are you going to take when you move in with us? Are you going to take this table? You love that table. Are you going to take it? There's room. Well, yeah, I'm going to take that table. What about those figurines? Do you like those? Do you want to take those with you? We've got room. Yeah, I want to take those. Okay, Mom. Well, do you want to move on Friday or Saturday? Other day works for me. Well, I think I'd rather move on Saturday. So by the time the conversation was over with, she was going to pack her stuff up and move on Saturday. Now, if he had gone in there and said, are you moving in with me or not? She would have said no. Don't ask the yes or no questions. Do the assumptive close. If you say, do you want to live in your house or not? I want to live in my house. Don't ask those kind of questions. Use the assumptive close. It's not really maneuvering, but it is guiding them into making the right decision. If you're in a situation where you're building a room or redoing a room for your parent, let them participate in it. Let them pick out the paint. Let them pick out the fixtures. it becomes theirs. They own it if they get to do all these things. So don't be afraid to do that. If you're building something on for them, let them be in every part of it. It'll help them segue into moving in with you. Sometimes it takes an intervention. And if you need to, and I don't mean gang up, don't do that. Have your sister, the sister, the brother, everyone sit down and talk to her. She's automatically going to shut down. Instead, have your sister go talk or your brother go talk. And not in a dictating kind of way. Do not dictate. This is your parent. You don't dictate to parents. They dictate to you. No. You don't dictate to them. They're still your parent. So have them discuss it with them. Once more, find out what the objection is and go through everything you went through with them. And that might help if they have a third party, your minister or rabbi. Maybe they'll go and talk to them. Regardless, you want them to feel like it's a conversation, not that they're being bullied. And the most important thing in all this, show respect. Show respect for them. They've earned it. They've lived a long time and they've raised a child or children. They deserve some respect. So help them out in that department. Let them maintain their dignity in all this. What do you think? Have you had a parent move in with you and how was it? Did they give you a hard time or were they just happy to do it? I would love to hear that. We would all love to hear that in the chat below. So until next time, thanks for the chat.